Good evening, because it is actually 5:46 p.m. and I just got home from work. But God, I'm out of breath. Why am I out of breath? Time to pop open. Number 2. What do we got today? I hope it's something I haven't had. This looks like Intenso. My normal typical. This is actually what I normally have, is the Intenso. So let's go ahead and push that in. Where's 3? Let's see it. I guess 3 is gonna be on this side somewhere. No. 3. Yeah, no, it's on the right. It's there. So that'll be for tomorrow. In the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and get started and make the Intenso for today. So, day 2 of Vlogmas. It's day 2 of my Nespresso Advent calendar, and today's coffee was the Intenso, as you would have seen earlier. Don't know what I'm doing with my hands, but I tend to talk with my hands. But so that I stop using my hands so much, I will have this cup of coffee, once again in the goofy mug, and it is the Intenso. As I mentioned, I think I did actually, this is my preferred cup of Nespresso. Normally, I drink the darker blends, and this was, I think, the darkest one that we had from our initial, first batches of capsules that we had. It's a 9 out of an 11 on the scale. That's good. And I forgot what the scale actually represents. I'm assuming it's like boldness, maybe darkness. I don't know. One of those things sounds right. When it comes to this coffee, one of the reasons why I personally like it is it smells great. When you're making it in the morning, it's got a really great aroma. It's strong. It smells bold. It smells intense. So the name Intenso kind of really works for it because it is an intense smell, but not a bad intense. It's like one of those things where, say I wasn't the one brewing this in the morning, but like I just woke up and I'm coming down the stairs and I'm smelling the kitchen. I'm like, oh, what's that smell? So it's like Folgers in your cup, like those commercials, like the best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. It's kind of like that, but with Nespresso. Yeah, it seems accurate. The taste off the bat is a lot more bitter than the coffee from yesterday, the Melozia, that one. Pretty sure I said that wrong twice. But it's definitely way more bitter, but in my opinion, it's still pretty smooth. Like, I don't think it's bitter enough where I'm like, I like... Like, it's really only bitter after you swallow. But when you just have it in your mouth, resting on your lips, on your tongue, it's perfectly mellow, definitely bolder, not as... It doesn't really carry that watered down flavor that I thought yesterday's coffee had. And yeah, you only get the bitterness once all of the coffee is out of your mouth, and then you get kind of a dry bitterness on your tongue, which isn't really bad. It actually makes me want to just keep on drinking the Intenso. Which I am doing. But yeah, I mean, personally, 9 out of an 11. My cup of coffee, as it is black. I mean, you can drink your coffee however you want, however you want or like. I really don't care. I don't judge as long as you're enjoying your cup. And boy, am I enjoying my cup. Anyways, day 2. I hope everyone's doing okay. I really hope that eventually I'm going to get into some coffee that I haven't had, which honestly, now that I think about it, might be hard because Anna and I love to buy and try all the different types of Nespresso capsules and pods or whatever that we can, especially during the holiday season. I know, obviously we picked up the Advent calendar, but we also picked up 2 of the holiday sleeves, and there was 4 or 6 total of the different holiday flavors that we could have gotten, and we only settled on 2 because we were trying to really be good with spending on coffee, because we still have a lot of coffee because we hadn't been drinking coffee as regularly as we used to. I also take time off from coffee because sometimes I do get coffee withdrawals when I drink coffee too regularly and then stop. So I try to go through times where I'm like, okay, I've been drinking a lot of coffee pretty frequently. Maybe I should tone it down so that I don't get to that point where I'm like, oh, I didn't have a cup of coffee today. I'm starting to get a headache. I hope everyone's doing okay. I hope everyone is somehow getting into the holiday spirit. I know we are. If you haven't seen it, we already did our holiday decor competition-ish thing where we decorated our mini trees for our room. I'm almost halfway done with this coffee. I go a little slower with this one just because it is a bit darker. It is a bit bolder. I think it's darker. I could be wrong. It's definitely bolder. I don't think I'm wrong on that. But it makes me want to slow down a bit, take a little bit of time. On top of that, I feel like I should be slowing down because I keep finding myself running out of breath, which isn't great. I think it's just the being fat part of things and being really unhealthy as of late. Besides that, it's Christmas time, and it really doesn't feel like Christmas time. In a lot of ways, I know it should. There's certain things that I do in a day and it reminds me, like when I was driving to work, it felt kind of Christmassy, the way the sun, the way the sky looked, the way it felt driving to work. There's something about driving during the months of the holiday season, specifically during Christmas, that like, for whatever reason, there's a beauty in that. When I'm driving, it feels like, oh yeah, this is my personal favorite time of year because I love Christmas. I'm born in January, so Christmas, January, it's December and January. It's just, that's my season, that's my time. I just always love that time of year. On top of just like how it feels, it's obviously getting to be around family, so more time to goof off, hang around, all that. Getting older, you don't really get that time anymore, so going older sucks. But yeah, so there are certain things that make me feel like it's Christmas time, and there are many things that don't, and it's kind of a bummer. And with COVID too, it really just doesn't feel, because one of my biggest and most favorite things to do during the holiday season is go out. Not even to like just eat and shop, but I like walking around. I know for me and my girlfriend, when we were working retail in the day, retail during the holiday season kind of sucks, but we did love going to malls. It was just nice to go to the mall. And even if we weren't planning to buy anything, it was just nice to be like, oh dude, they're open extra late. We can just walk around. We can see the lights. We can see how people have decorated areas, or you go to different parts of cities and downtown areas and you'd be like, oh, look at how nice that looks. So we would go look for houses and neighborhoods and see, oh dude, who's decorated? Oh man, let's go look at housing decorations and things like that. It was just fun to explore and see what areas of your cities and towns and like cul-de-sacs and neighborhoods, like who's getting in the spirit. And I don't really feel that right now, and which is weird because a lot of people start early. People usually at the very least start the day after Thanksgiving. They're like, let's get on it. Holiday spirit. Some people started a lot earlier. I know some places wanted to go and some people wanted to go straight in. It's November, Halloween is over, let's go straight into the holiday season, because let's be real, we could use it right now in 2020, but it's just not really hitting that for me yet. Like, I just don't completely feel it. And I think that might have to do with because I don't know what Christmas is going to look like as a whole. And the shopping experience is going to be very different. Like, I am pretty sure I'm going to be doing most of my shopping online, which is a good thing, but it's just not the same experience as walking around to find that perfect item for whoever. I know, like, that was always a cool thing, like a treasure hunt. Not like I was specifically looking for like something crazy or specific for like this person or individual, like I needed to get, a PS5 or Xbox, which are hot ticket items for this year, but it's more just like coming across some random store and being like, whoa, this would be perfect for them, and I gotta get it now. When you're scouring the internet, it's kind of like, you'll eventually find something, and there's still that joy and delight of being like, look, I'm gonna get this for them. I just came across this is gonna be great, they're gonna love it. But it just doesn't have that same feel as being. I totally lost my train of thought. I got interrupted by a call from one of my favorite people in the world. And that actually puts me in the holiday spirit, just to hear from an old friend that you haven't talked to in a while, just to see how you're doing. That fucking put me in the holiday spirit. So I'm feeling really good right now. Um, Fuck, I don't even know what I was saying, but I'm just so happy to hear from him. So I should wrap this up because I think I'm going longer, way longer than I wanted to for a vlog, and I'm almost done with my coffee. But anyways, as I'm finishing this, there are many things that have been putting me in the holiday spirit, and many things that just don't feel right. Obviously, things aren't going to feel right because it's been 2020. Nothing feels right during this year, but we're doing the best we can, or at least hopefully we are trying to do the best we can. And even though there are many things for me that don't make this feel like the holidays I love so much and I'm always like excited for, I'm hoping that the little things that I am trying to do, or that my girlfriend does, or that the people I'm interacting with do, or even just the mindset that I'm trying to have, is enough to get me really be like, you know what, though? It's not the holiday time that I am accustomed to, but it's going to be the best holiday time I can make it be. And that's what I'm striving for. And hopefully other people are finding ways to do that. And I know it's not easy, just given whatever circumstances and troubles that you're going through, because it's definitely the hardest year that I think I've ever been alive for, um, in so many different capacities. But I wish everyone the best. It's day 2. There's 23 more days of this. Hopefully, anybody watching, thank you so much for letting me waste a bit of your time. Um, I'll be back tomorrow at some point with coffee. I believe Anna will be with me too. And if you're not in the holiday spirit, that's just not your thing, I totally understand. But for those who are trying to get into the holiday spirit, I hope that in some way you can find that joy, that cheer, that season feeling in any little or big way you can. And I think one of the biggest things you can do is try to reach out to people that you haven't talked to in a while, that you're close to. Not to say like, oh, pick a random stranger or pick a random like person you haven't talked to in forever and just be like, I just want to see how they're doing, which isn't a bad thing. But you know, for me, leaving one job to another, I had really close friends, or people that I thought were my friends, and I still consider friends. And I'm like, I know I don't always get to regularly check up on you, but it's the holiday season. I have to make it a priority to let you know that in my season's greetings, you are part of what makes my life great, and your relationship with me matters. And if I don't tell you that during my favorite time of the season, if I don't say, hey, how are you, during my favorite time of the season, where because it's the one that connects me with everyone the most. I feel the holiday season is the season that brings people closer together. Then I'm definitely not going to have any sort of holiday season that I want. So, you know, hopefully I encourage you to reach out to the people you love, or the people you want to connect with a little bit more during this time. And I'm going to stop using my hands now and just say, once again, I'll see you when I see you, pretty much tomorrow. And until then, later all.